Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Patrick, and I was having trouble coming up with a video to post this week. I am on a 2-week schedule, and maybe tomorrow's the day that I'm supposed to be posting to the YouTube channel. And maybe your boy has been like super busy the last couple of weeks, and maybe I haven't recorded anything, and maybe this is something that I'm able to throw together, which is great, but it is an exercise in getting to know me, and according to this website, kind of getting to know myself a little bit more. So I have 26 questions to help you get to know yourself better, and in this case, to help you get to know me. All right, so this website here is 26 questions to help you know yourself better. Do you have a clear sense of who you are? Well, do you? Why do we experience a loss of identity? All right, this is a psych website. Okay, this isn't like a BuzzFeed level 26 questions to just ask for funsies. This is this is to help maintain your identity on a psychological level. But that's good. That could be fun. All right, well, let's go through them. What are my strengths? Oh boy, right out the gate, I have to compliment myself, huh? Okay, so I'd say my strengths are making videos, kind of. Fuck. It's easy to talk to people as I choke, getting words out. Anyway, let's skip that one. We're going on to the next one. What are my short-term goals? Long-term goals? Question mark. My short-term goals are to post regularly to this YouTube channel. So there's that. My long-term goals are to develop a podcast that I'm working on the side. More about that when I actually have more to share, but I'm very excited about it. Who matters most to me? Who are my support people? I would say that my fiance matters most to me. That's why I asked her to marry me. And my friends, obviously. I'm very lucky to be surrounded by a lot of very fun and talented people that I am lucky to call my friends. Definitely have a great network of support. I work in the games industry, and there has just been no shortage of uncertainty. I've been laid off before, and just without question, I've got people who send me jobs, are there to reference, and it's just I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky to know who I know and to have a good network of support. So I love my friends. I love my significant other, and my family isn't too bad either. So I love them all. What am I ashamed of? Man, what am I ashamed of? I actually covered this in my last video when I was talking about quitting acting. That was a big shame point for me, to kind of walk away from something that I felt like I was really putting myself out on a limb to pursue. But I feel like I very happily and successfully pivoted into what I do now, which is working in video games, and I love it. And I am not too ashamed of anything anymore. That's part of making this YouTube video, is to throw shame to the wind and just do things because I love them. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now. So try not to be ashamed. Shame and guilt are not very useful emotions, and it's not a good way to spend your time and energy with negative self-images and the like. My therapist taught me that. What do I like to do for fun? Fun, I like to play video games. That is the thing that I probably love the most. That's why I have so much fun working in video games, because I'm constantly immersed in the things that I like to do. Ironically, I have a lot less time to play video games working in video games, which is kind of a standard of working in the industry. I think that's why I like streaming on Twitch so much, even though I don't do it that often, because it really combines the two things I love the most, which is playing video games and being social and talking to people online. What new activities am I interested in or willing to try? So this past year, I told myself that I was going to get more into painting miniatures, and I have painted a few. I have not stuck with it as much as I would like to, but it is something that I do find very fun and therapeutic, and I definitely want to do more of as soon as I begin to carve out the time, maybe like once a week. I need to get back to doing that, but painting miniatures and playing some D&D or other tabletop games that would allow me to use those painted miniatures. What am I worried about? I am worried about losing my job sometimes because I work in, like I mentioned, I work in video games, and the industry, in case you haven't heard, not doing awesome. Despite there is, record profits, there's still a lot of layoffs happening. That's a whole nother can of worms that, we're not going to dive into in this video. But I'd say I wouldn't want to be jobless in the industry that I am in right now. My heart really goes out to people who have been losing their jobs in and around the industry that I'm in. Yeah, so that's definitely something I worry about from time to time. But otherwise, I try not to worry too much in general. What are my values / what do I believe in? Consider politics, religion, and social issues. Social issues I believe in. I believe that everyone should have health care. I think it's fucked up that it depends on your job and your class on if you can stay alive and live a comfortable life. I think that we all are entitled. I think there's enough money in the world that everyone should be able to eat, be housed, and have health care. I'm pretty passionate about that. I think that's probably a hard line for me no matter the situation. I don't think that there needs to be record profits or pushing forward in anything if we can't just take care of our fellow man and women. If I could have one wish, it would be, one wish. We're going to go with the rules that I can't just wish for more wishes, because obviously infinite wishes is the correct answer, but a non-boring answer. If I could have one wish, what would it be? Man, that's tough, because a shallow wish I would be to just never worry about money ever again, ever. And just be able to be like, I can just live my life however I want and not have to worry about bills to pay. And then I could take care of the people that I care about most. But I guess maybe to be healthy, maybe for everyone that I care about, including myself, to have perfect health and to live a long, happy life. I think that would be a pretty positive one wish to have. I guess broader, I could solve world hunger and find a cure for cancer and all that type of stuff. But I guess, you know what, I'm going back on what I'm saying. Infinite wishes. That's what I said. And then I'll just fix everything. But then again, I'd probably get corrupted by the power, because I have infinite wishes. Then I'm all powerful. And then maybe that's actually bad, because I'll turn evil, because absolute power corrupts absolutely most of the time. Anyway, where do I feel safest? Probably at home. Probably here in my office. I feel pretty safe right now as I make this video. I feel pretty secure, pretty happy. So yeah, I'm just going to say here at home. What or who gives me comfort? Definitely my fiance. She is my best friend and just a support system, and just someone I miss her when she's not around. And I am happy and comfortable when she is around. So there's that. If I wasn't afraid, I would. I love the assumption that I am afraid, but I guess I am a little bit afraid. If I wasn't afraid, I would probably be more confident in some of the topics I picked to make YouTube videos about, because I do worry about how I'm perceived. And I think, like most people in the space or different space, I do worry about perception. And I shouldn't. That's a journey that I'm on right now, and just part of me regularly posting to this YouTube channel. So I'm working on that. What is my proudest accomplishment? This is going to be kind of vague, but it's that I have gotten so much better at laughing at my problems. And this is a lesson that my dad actually passed down to me, which was that you have to learn to laugh, which sounds simple enough, but it really means that there is a sort of way of flexing this muscle that you find humor in the darkest parts or the most difficult parts of your life. And I'm very proud of sort of using that to my advantage, and it has brought me a lot of happiness. And I like to feel like I don't get too set back in life, because I just have gotten better at rolling with the punches. And again, I know that's vague, not quite like an accomplishment, but it's definitely a personal accomplishment to me. as someone who used to be kind of young and frustrated by a lot of things that I had no control over. But I definitely feel accomplished in that I find a lot more joy in life in general. This sounds so preachy. I'm making myself sick, honestly. But it's true. I feel happy about that, and I'm proud of it. So there you go. Am I a night owl or an early bird? How can I arrange my life to better suit this part of my nature? I'm definitely used to be a night owl, and funny enough, it's actually a recent development that I started waking up earlier and going to the gym. That actually does suit me better because I was getting very frustrated and feeling that I wasn't accomplishing the things that I wanted to do because I would just be so tired in the evening, but I would still have like revenge sleep procrastination. So I would still stay up and just mess around. But then over time, I would resent the fact that I wasn't using that time more productively, which I know is like this whole thing about like hustle culture and not relaxing. But I have found that I get the most joy out of my day, and I have found that I'm the most balanced and the most productive if I get the annoying thing out of the way, which is going to the gym and not something I necessarily love to do. And then in my evenings, I very naturally either do something that actually makes me relax, or I feel compelled to do something fun and productive, like make a YouTube video. And that has just been better for me in general. So I still stay up late sometimes, but generally speaking, I am up earlier and it is working better for me. What do I like about my job? What do I dislike? The thing I love about my job is that it has really been a culmination of all the things that I've been self-taught over the years. I kind of talk about this in my very first YouTube video, kind of introing the channel, but it's messing around on things like Twitch, YouTube, and social media for fun and for the love of it that has actually landed me in a position as someone who creates and develops content around video game marketing campaigns. And that is just like right at the intersection of all the things that I love and am passionate about. So I love that. What do I dislike? I guess I dislike that I'm not making things for myself full time. In a perfect world, I do think that maybe I would run my own studio or produce the things that I choose to produce. But that's not out of the question. That's a long-term goal of mine. But right now, I'm very, very happy and satisfied doing what I do. What does my inner critic tell me? Jesus Christ, this is these are a little bit. Whoa, man, I thought I was laying myself bare in my last video. My inner critic tells me that... shit. My inner critic tells me that doing things that I love as a hobby aren't always worth it because I'm not seeing immediate returns on my investments. And that is something that I know a lot of people struggle with. And it's something that I've been actively trying to get over, is just to do things because I want to do them. And they bring me joy and I want to do it. So that's something I've been trying to get over, and just do things because they bring me joy. It's fun. It's good practice. There are just all kinds of positive reasons to just do things that don't have to immediately go towards building a career or to make money from the jump. What do I do to show myself compassion and self-care? I try and keep a rule not to have negative self-talk. That was something that I learned in therapy, was just to don't say mean things about yourself. Don't call yourself stupid. Don't say this is dumb or this is a dumb feeling. Like, just skip negative self-talk. Like, it's not useful. Be humble and definitely want to improve on things and aim to get better. But the part where you're sort of kicking yourself while you're down is not a useful exercise. It's not healthy. It doesn't make you feel good, and it's a waste of energy. So that's something that I try to be adamant about just throughout life in general. Am I an introvert or an extrovert? Am I energized being around others or being by myself? I've never actually felt like I fit in either of these categories. I love going out and meeting people. I definitely feel like if I'm in too long, I want to hang out with friends. But then I definitely get my social battery depleted and exhausted, and I just want me time. So I wouldn't classify myself as an introvert or an extrovert. Maybe a little more extroverted because I generally like the social aspect of the things that would otherwise be introverted. Like, I love video games, but I like playing video games with friends. So definitely somewhere in between, leaning extrovert. What am I passionate about? I'm passionate about video games. I'm passionate about being happy and appreciating every moment in life. I sound so zen. I sound very preachy. I hate catching myself pontificating about, life's journey and living your truth. But I don't know, maybe it's something about just getting slightly older, is that you want to appreciate simpler things in life and focus on the things that make you happy and that you are passionate about. So I'm passionate about video games. I'm passionate about this industry that I work in, and I am passionate about caring and spending time with the people around me. What is my happiest memory? Wow, happiest memory. That's a big one. Okay, this definitely isn't my happiest memory ever because I'm having trouble locking one down, but it's definitely one that's semi-recent that I look back on very fondly all the time. Death Stranding, the game, first came out. I was in between jobs in that I had quit one job and was waiting to start a new one. So I was unemployed, but just waiting to start a new job. So not really unemployed, but I didn't have any work commitments. And I also got the flu. Being sick definitely sucked, but it was the first time in a really long time that as an adult, I literally would eat, sleep, and play video games with no guilt whatsoever. Didn't feel like I had any pressing things that needed doing because I was in between jobs. And because I was sick, there wasn't anything that I was realistically going to exert myself to get done. So I played Death Stranding for a full week straight, like it was a full-time job. And it was incredible. And I know that game is a little bit polarizing. I personally think it's one of the best games ever. I literally got a tattoo on my arm because it was just one of my favorite games and gaming experiences in my life. It really brought me back to just being a carefree kid where all that matters is waking up the next day and continuing the game that you're playing. And I got to experience that pretty well into my adult life. And I look back on that fondly all the time. I say that I might even just take time off work when Death Stranding 2 comes out, just to sort of continue that trend and just dedicate a good couple of days, maybe even the better part of a week, to connecting America. What do my dreams tell me? My dreams tell me if I'm stressed, I will definitely have stress dreams if I'm stressed out. But then I guess my dreams in terms of aspirations actually tell me that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be in my career right now, because I think about where I want to be in 5 to 10 years, and it's doing just a more escalated, bigger version of what I'm doing right now. So I feel pretty good about that. What is my favorite book, movie, band, food, color, or animal? My favorite book recently has been Blood, Sweat, and Pixels by Jason Schreier. It's like a chronicling of these different game developers and sort of the months or even year before launch and how things went. I love game dev stories. I love game development. I'm not in the product side of video game development. I'm more in the marketing world, but just the stories of a game's sort of inception and bringing it to launch and different every story is in what roadblocks they hit and things that they have to overcome is just so interesting to me. So love that book. My favorite movie might be Jaws. I love a lot of very typically classic movies. I love Jaws, The Shawshank Redemption, and Jurassic Park. I love a lot of older Spielberg in general, which just again feels kind of bland, but I love Jurassic Park. I love Jaws. I love Minority Report. Just Spielberg doing good Spielberg stuff. But yeah, maybe Jaws. If I had to pick one, I think Jaws is my favorite movie. I always sound like a sociopath when I talk about music, just because I don't listen to that much music on a serious level. I'm much more of a podcast and audiobook person, which I know makes me just sound like a fucking nerd. Trust me, it's not something I'm always proud to even talk about. So I don't even know who my favorite band is. It's tough to say, which I know is a psychotic, crazy thing to say. So I don't know. And then my favorite food is probably hot wings. I like buffalo pretty much anything, but I will generally just destroy a plate of hot wings on any given day. Favorite color? The color turquoise I've always thought is sick, is always thought is cool. And, you know, it's kind of weirdly specific, but it is. It's my favorite one. I love it. I like anything that has like kind of a retro 80s aesthetic, which is a lot of like pinks and turquoise. But yeah, turquoise, my favorite color for sure. And my favorite animal is cats in general. Like cats, cat person. Love dogs, love them. Love having a cat because it's the perfect amount of like cuddly friend and also something that I don't have to worry about that much. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for my health. I'd say that's the number one thing that I try to be thankful for, is that I am healthy, because that is something that I think a lot of us take for granted. And I am always grateful to wake up every day and not feel the weight of health concerns staring me in the face or making my life difficult. So I'm grateful for my health. When I'm feeling down, I like to play video games heavily. My fiance has joked that she knows that I'm sad when I really go hard with World of Warcraft because that's when I just don't want to focus on anything except for something that's grindy and immersive, and the darkest times of my life have been when I went the hardest with WoW. So when I'm feeling down, I definitely like to play World of Warcraft. And last but not least, I know I'm stressed when there's a handful of things I do when I'm stressed. I'll get stress headaches on like the top of my head, which is like how I know it's a stress headache, which it can be very exhausting. I, like most people, will get a little more irritable when I'm stressed. So when I'm not feeling like joking around, I know that I'm stressed out. And I used to pick at my nails when I was stressed, which is something that I have kind of kicked, because I would literally fuck up my fingers and it would be gross. But I got a pretty decent handle on that as I found much more healthier ways to relieve stress. So that's a weird one to end on, but that's the 26th question. So if you have watched this far, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you guys coming along for these first couple of YouTube videos that have been more about getting to know me than anything else, which I guess is good, but I'm definitely finding my way towards narrowing the scope of things that I'd like to talk about on my channel. But in the meantime, these have been really fun and I appreciate you. So subscribe if you haven't, like if you haven't, and otherwise I will see you next time.